Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley and I'm an Australian circus artist currently performing in dual reality on board Virgin Voyage's Scarlet Lady, and welcome back to my channel. So for this week's video I've decided to do another act creation video. My first one was on my last contract where I made a contortion act for Ship Show in a couple of days, and I vlogged it and it's probably one of my most favorite videos, so I'll have that one linked down below. And this contract I ended up making an aerial hoop act for Studio 72, which is a little show that we do usually on the last day of the voyage. It's like a big disco party event, but the first part of the night is a little circus show that a bunch of us from dual reality end up performing in. And so I made an aerial hoop act and thought I would take you along on the creative process of developing that act and then putting it on stage and how that all went about. First things first, for any act creation, development, whatever, is inspiration. And inspiration comes to everyone in a lot of variety of different ways. And for this act, the inspiration came from a pair of shoes. So I got a pair of boots from the free market. So the free market is basically like a donate day. Like every couple voyages or so we will have a free market and you can bring stuff that you want to donate, and or you can just go there and see what people are donating and take what you need, want, all that jazz. It's a really fun thing. And I got these pair of shoes there, so someone was giving these away, so I got them for free. I tried them on and they were the perfect fit and I just had to get them. They are a pair of thigh-high rhinestone heels and they fit. If that's not the universe telling me that I need these shoes in my life, I don't know what is. And as fabulous as these shoes are, I know that I'm never going to wear them in real life. I don't go anywhere to warrant wearing those heels. And I also knew that these shoes just belong on stage. And then I had the idea that I could do an aerial act wearing the boots. I don't usually wear shoes when I perform aerial, so it was definitely going to be a bit of a challenge, but I just could visualize these boots in the air, absolutely stunning, and I was like, challenge accepted. I said, I'm gonna make an aerial hoop act all about the boots. Step 2 for me is usually music. I like to create to music. I'm quite musically oriented in terms of creating sequences and building sequences. I get inspiration from the music as well. So for a studio specifically, we have a list of approved music to pick from, which makes it easy because there's a narrowed down list already. So it's just going through, listening to it. I knew I wanted something fun and upbeat that would really accentuate the shoes. The track I ended up picking was Hot Stuff by Donna Summer, and it's such a fun song and I feel like it works really well with the boots, and I could just, yeah. Step 3 is research / act building. I got about 3 sessions on my aerial hoop. The first one was just seeing what I could and couldn't do in the boots. I knew that a lot of my material was going to be limited because of them, but I was really up for the challenge, and I mean immediately I was like, I'm definitely going to be able to do enough to make an act work, which was really fun. And then it was just building sequences to the music. So as soon as I knew that it was possible, which I knew during my first session, I then started building sequences that work well together and that I could use. And I've been using a hand loop for the first time. So usually when I do aerial hoop, I just use the hoop alone. I don't have a hand loop, but the hoop on board had one, so I thought I would, while I was doing a lot of research anyway, I was like, let's do research with the hand loop, and I absolutely loved it. So the last 2 sequences of my act actually involves the hand loop, which is really fun and different, and it's really cool to push myself to do something different. Step 4 is tech. I had, I would say, 3 tech sessions on this act. The first one was to program the lifts. So in the manor we have an automation lift, which is very nice. As an aerialist, we love having a motor and being able to be lifted up and down during our acts. The second tech session I had was, we did a sequence run. So we went through my act sequence by sequence, actually doing it with the lifts and the heights and stuff. The first time we did it, I verbally called each lift, and that was just to make sure that they could visually see what cue it was to go up, and so I verbally called it. We then ran it a second time to music. This time I didn't verbally call it unless I needed to give notes. We gave notes about this one can go earlier, this one quicker, can you clarify this? It's like a constant communication. And then the third tech was when I did a lighting and costume run. So costume wise, we have a lot of options for Studio 72. So for the show, we're often in like silver or gold. It's like shiny, it's fun, and we've got like a bunch of costumes on board to pick from. So I went with a silver top and some like little silver bottoms just because the boots were already silver. So I knew I wanted a silver costume. It needed to be form-fitting in order to see my lines. So my final tech run was actually done the morning of my premiere, and I ran my act fully in costume under the lights just to make sure that everything was okay. I was really happy with how my tech run went.
Great, we're all happy. Thank you very much.
Yay! Step number 5 is the premiere. So for studio, we get some warm-up time before doors open just to make sure everything is all good. And since I'd only run my act fully a handful of times, I knew that I wanted to fully run my act in show call. So I was in costume, I ran it in lights, I did a second tech run as my warm-up for my premiere just because I'd only done it a handful of times, and for confidence you just want to like know that you can do it. So I then premiered my act and it was so much fun. It was very well received, which makes me so happy, and yeah, I can't wait to perform it more because it was so much fun. So thank you so much for watching this week's video. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like to see. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!